Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the Garage Built Podcast. My name, of course, is Ethan, and on this week's episode, I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Mia Davis. Mia has started a page called Smiley Society with the goal in mind to create a community of women that support women. It's very, very cool. It's very unique compared to some of the other businesses we've had, and the way that she's building it and the designs and creativity that she's put behind it, as well as the future of it, are extremely interesting. Today, Mia's going to talk about her story. She's going to talk about vulnerability and connecting with others and how creating a community really works. I cannot wait for you guys to hear what she says. But, of course, before that, we're going to have a couple ads. We want to thank our sponsors of the podcast. Can't do this without them. And it's pretty cool that we have some. So thank you guys so much for watching those and clicking the links in the description below. As well, I invite you, if this podcast is cool, if you guys like it, leave it a review on Apple Podcasts, follow it on Spotify, like and subscribe on YouTube. It really, really helps us out a ton, and it's the best possible thing you can do to support the pod. So thank you so much for listening once again. Let's get right into the ads. This episode of the Garage Built Podcast is brought to you by Legend Supply Co. I've talked about them before, and I've talked about this. This is the power bank from Legend Supply. This thing has tons and tons of battery life. Every type of connector you could want: Lightning, USB-C, micro USB, standard USB-C, MagSafe, Apple Watch charger, phone stand, which I think is the most useful feature, especially when I'm like cooking food and using, I'm running out of battery like crazy. But it's as easy as this: connects to your phone, charges it up right away. It's got enough battery to totally take care of you and all your devices. But Legend Supply Co. doesn't just stop there, because every month, and they just went through a rebrand, so this is all a very, very well-oiled machine, but with a new little flavor to it, is they give away cars all the time. Like, for example, this month, this is a Cadillac Escalade. It's modeled after the same one I used to drive, for those of you that know me. You can't win that one by buying this, but you can win this one right here. It's a one-of-one brown 26-inch rim, 680 plus horsepower freaking machine, and you can win it just by buying something from Legend Supply Co. And they have everything from digital products to digital products to car cleaning kits to keychains to power banks like I've got, to merch to hats to whatever you want. And if you decide to buy from them any of these things that I've talked about, you're entered to win automatically an Escalade just like this one. In fact, it is this one. It's this one in the photo right here. You can win this. This could be in your driveway. 680 plus horsepower. What? All you have to do is click the link in my description below. It helps support the podcast directly, but it's also a great way to just get cool stuff and get entered to win an amazing one-of-one vehicle at the same time. So go check out Legend Supply. We're huge supporters of theirs. They're huge supporters of us, and I can't wait to see what you guys pick up. This episode of the Garage Built Podcast is also brought to you by the good folks at Link.me. And Link.me is one of the easiest tools to use, but it's also one of the most useful things I've ever seen as a creator. Here's how it works. I'm going to show you on my phone right here. This is my Instagram page. You've all hopefully seen this. If you're not, follow me. But this is the link in my bio. Click that and it takes you directly to this page, which I have designed to be super easy on the eyes and have everything you could possibly want from me. Soon this will be populated with even more cool stuff, but if you're a creator, if you own a business, if you run any sort of merch website, if you're in e-commerce in any single way, Link.me might be your new best friend, and you can get 20% off one of their premium subscriptions by clicking the link in the description below this video, or if you're listening on audio, in the description of the podcast. It's as easy as this. You can sign up super, super quick on this link right here. I did it for you. You can just click that and you will get 20% off. But fully customizable mini website that you can adjust everything and anything you want on here. And it'll show your follower count. It'll have your bio. It'll have an email sign up if you run a newsletter. It's just the coolest thing ever. And it's super, super simple to get started. But you're joining a good crew like Jamie Foxx, NFL teams, NASCAR. So many people are using Link.me because it's just better than a standard link in bio thing that you've probably seen out there. So go check it out. The link to join is in the description below and is also on my Link.me page. So Go check them out. I super appreciate them for supporting the podcast. And now to the episode. On a Garage Built podcast first, it's kind of second, but once again, I'm going to have to ask forgiveness because the other episode with a female entrepreneur got absolutely ruined audio-wise, but I know a lot, and so I'm very grateful to have Mia Davis on with us today. Mia has a very interesting, unique business compared to some of the ones we've had thus far, and so we're going to do her episode similar to Tanner's last week, a little bit different. And we're going to do it backwards. So we're going to talk about the business first and then go into what makes it go and all the nitty-gritty behind it. But Mia, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, this is so fun. I didn't know you were coordinating outfits with our 1-year-old.
Oh,
with the yellow.
I mean, what other color was I supposed to show up in, you know?
Well, for a brand called Smiley Society, there really isn't a better color than yellow. You're right.
Yellow is the core of it all, you know?
I'm rocking bright blue today, as per usual. So, no, Mia's built a very, very cool brand. You've been doing social media for a while on this.
Yes.
Talk to me about, let's just start from the beginning. What prompted this? What exactly are you hoping for? And, where are we going here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started Smiley Society back in 2020, actually. Okay. I think a lot of beautiful things were born in 2020.
It was also needed.
Yes.
For a lot of people.
We were all dying.
Yes.
And it was more like a project of healing for me at the time.
Okay.
And I actually was going through a divorce in the year of 2020 at the age of 21, which, you know, that's a weird
sentence. Not what you want to do as a 21-year-old.
I mean, it's not ideal, but, you know. But it became like a form of me finding myself again and healing. And it was more just like a blog for fun type of energy. And then I took a break for a little while after I got remarried just to reset and finish school. And I got my degree in social work. And so I was working toward that. Cool. Yeah, I love it. And
for those of, I'm going to interrupt you super quick. For those of you that know Mia, and you go into social work, that fits. That's very, very good. Mia's always been just the nicest person ever. So very, very cool. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Ethan, we've known each other since we were 14, I think.
100%. Yeah.
So,
what is that, 7th grade?
Yeah,
8th grade?
7th, 8th grade.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, we've known each other
long time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I went into social work and kind of dove into that and discovered myself in that aspect of my life. But I became a mom 10 months ago, and I always wanted to revive Smiley Society, but I just didn't really, I felt like I had done the work I was supposed to do with it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And then becoming a mom revamped everything, and I had a whole other message of finding yourself and becoming, if that makes sense. And so that's really why I brought it back and I've revamped it, and it has a lot more purpose behind it now. So now with Smiley Society, it's more, it's mainly for the girlies, and we love the men that aren't creepy that show up. We love them. But it's really, the purpose of it is to create a community of authenticity and realness and joy despite the difficulty of life. And it's an online community, but also we're working on making it more of an in-person community, and we're just creating products to go along with that message.
To fit that. And I've seen you, I know that the clothing swap's coming up.
Yeah.
I was looking at that. I think that's, I keep sending my wife your stuff because I'm like, you guys, need to be friends because you're so much alike, but that's the alikeness. It's like, there's a positive to this. There's a way that we can support each other. And I think it's really, really cool. And Smiley Society being a catalyst for that is super, super interesting.
Thank you.
So we're going to dive into it a little bit today.
Yeah.
I feel like we've teased this a little bit, but let's give some context on how I know you.
Yeah.
Because everybody I've had on, somehow, I've known who they are. I have really, really cool friends. That's one of the coolest things about.
It's because Ethan's cool, too.
Well.
We love Ehor, right?
to be argued, but I do know very, very cool people, and obviously me is one of them. So we went to the same middle school all the way through high school. We were friends with so many of the same people. You know Tanner, who was on last week, and just something about South Jordan crew doing cool things. What's up with that?
I don't know. We're just built different, I guess. You know,
We're built different.
We're built different.
Yeah. The South Jordan Bingham crew seems to be. I mean, we're kind of all in different places, but there's so many people who are doing cool things.
Oh yeah,
I think
it's so
awesome.
fun to see. Yeah.
So
it's almost been freaking 9 years since we graduated high school, so it's crazy to watch it all.
Making us feel old. We're parents, dude, and that's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
Can you believe next year's our 10-year reunion?
No.
I don't even know what that's going to be like.
I don't know either.
It's going to be weird.
I feel like this is good practice.
This
but,
is good practice.
So far, so good. But like,
so
that's wild to me because I feel like it's been no time at all.
I also feel like time has absolutely flown, and like a lot of us served missions. A lot of us came back. Some of us have been working in school and all these different things. It's very cool. We're widespread, but we're a good group. Shout out to you guys. I know some of you guys are watching, but you're a Seahawks fan.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, can I say that? Sorry. Heck yeah.
Seahawks. I don't know about... No, I'm just kidding. I don't think I've watched a Broncos game in years.
Really?
No, I haven't.
Who are you? What's going on?
I've been busy.
I mean, fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I know. Football season's coming up.
Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
You can attest to the fact that I have been the whole time you've known me, not just this season. Right?
Even from before. Like, they had their, like, big spurt. They won, and then they lost because of a stupid play call. We all know that. We don't need to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Remind me where the Seahawks fandom comes from.
So my dad grew up going to Seattle a lot as a kid, and so I just grew up watching the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I have like memories of watching the Seahawks as a kid, and I didn't even know what was going on, I just knew it was fun to watch my dad yell and get excited at the TV, so that I was getting excited
as
at the
dads
TV.
do.
You know?
Yep.
So in my relationship, I'm the one that usually yells at the TV a little bit more. But
I love it.
I'm
That's
like, now
funny.
I actually know why.
Yeah.
I know why we're doing it, but so it was just like part of my childhood.
Die hard. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I grew up a Broncos fan, as you know.
Yes.
Because we would, when the Broncos and the Seahawks were playing each other all the time. Those were kind of good days.
Yeah.
And in the Super Bowl. Those were good days.
Yeah.
Those were fun. It was like me and Camden Hansen. Shout out Camden. Against Mia. It was so funny.
For real? Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so good. But
I was always talking smack at school. It's true.
Gosh, Mia was talking smack. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
But in the best way possible. Well, let's jump right into it. I'm gonna pull up some notes here. I sent you the questions beforehand. Hopefully, you got a chance to read through those.
Yeah.
But I'm so curious. Obviously, we know why Smiley Society was born and where it came from. What about the experiences you were going through, and you talked about this a little bit, but go into it maybe a little bit deeper. What made you want to be public about it? Because some people just like, they don't hide it, but they're like not outspoken about, hey, I want to be doing this. Like we are, obviously, because we're on a podcast right now. But what about it made you want to do that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, because I think especially when you're going through something like a divorce at 21 and
COVID on top of that.
And COVID at the same time. I got my tonsils out that summer too. Can
Boom,
you freaking believe
boom.
that? Insane.
Yep.
That was definitely the worst part. But when you're going through something like that, and then the following year, my parents actually ended up getting divorced as well. Things like, and it just felt like my life was so heavy all the time.
Yeah.
And it was to help uplift other people and to remember, okay, there is good going on in our lives. There's beauty in our lives despite the crap that we're going through.
Right.
There is something to look forward to, and there's reasons to get up in the morning even when it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
That was not... I wanted to spread that message, but I was also giving it to myself at the same time. I was healing with a community, and I think that's when the internet can be really beautiful if you allow it to be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us turn to the internet in those times, whether it's to numb or to look for answers or friendship or something, right? And now, since I jumped back into it postpartum, I'm sure you've seen with your wife, and as you become a parent, the online community for parenthood is insane.
Yes.
And it's either going to be very helpful or very not.
Yep.
I found myself doubting any kind of intuition I had because everybody else already has the answers online. And so Smiley Society is really like, hey, I don't have the answers either. I don't have the answers to how to overcome things. I don't have the answers to teething.
Yeah.
I don't know anything,
Yep.
but I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
And we can sit in the uncomfortable parts of life together.
Yeah.
And I mean, as someone who went into social work, I love Brene Brown, right?
Yeah.
And she has that entire TED Talk on vulnerability, and she says vulnerability breeds connection.
Yeah.
And really, that's what Smiley Society is about. It's a society, right?
Yeah.
We're here to have connection, and as you become a mother, and as you become a woman, it's hard to find connection with
Yeah.
people that understand you.
Yeah.
And but it's so vital to still stay connected and to really be vulnerable with one another. So that's really the purpose of the space.
And honestly, I think that's what gets me hyped about it so much too, is because, you know, on another end of it's not even a different spectrum, on another part of it, you know, here we are, garage built. I love connecting with people. That's my favorite thing in the entire world. And I also am crazy curious about people's businesses and growing that and all that it takes to do that. And I think having a community around it is so powerful. Yeah. And Smiley Society, being a group of women that are focused on a bunch of different things that obviously I think is so crucial. And seeing my wife's experience through postpartum, I think now is a great time to do that because it's not easy. It's in fact
wild.
Really freaking hard. Yeah. And
we're way too casual about the whole thing.
It is.
You know?
And it's insane that you can even do it in the first place. And it's a miracle.
Yeah.
And then to come out of it and have everything happen that just happens with your body and with everything.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And so I love that you're creating a community about that, but to support each other and to just talk about it.
Definitely.
Being vulnerable also, you've probably experienced this on camera. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
No.
So what gets you... I've asked this to a couple people who have kind of overcome that vulnerability, but I want to ask you this too. What has been the motivation to do that? And what gets you to just, guess what? I'm filming this. Like, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to put something out there.
Yeah. That's a great question because it's not comfortable at all. I mean, you've known me for a long time. I'm a pretty outgoing person, but not to the point where I just want to be online all the time. It's not. And if I didn't feel called and pushed to do it, then I wouldn't, if that makes sense. What motivates me is the other women that are also out there being vulnerable that have made a difference for me. I think about the times when I have gotten on my phone and I've seen women talking about postpartum. I felt more prepared for postpartum because of the women that were willing to be real about it. Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense.
And also I felt more secure in when I would get on the internet when I found the women that were also like, oh my gosh, I'm out here dying. Are you guys dying? I'm dying. You know, but also we're still gonna move on. We're gonna charge forward. And I think there's so much beauty in that, and I was sick of getting on the internet and looking at things that made me feel horrible as a woman and horrible as a mom because it's everywhere. Women are just targeted all the time for different reasons. I mean, men can be too, but I just feel like for whatever reason, women kind of get beat up in a lot of ways, and so it's for them, you know. And I have a son, but if I ever have a daughter, that's the type of footprint I would want to leave for little girls like yours. Yeah. Right? That's the point.
Girls support girls.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's
I'm a girl's
cool.
Girl.
And I think everyone who's listening to this, no matter what business you're in, no matter what thing you're trying to create, what you just said is so crucially important. It's not about you necessarily. Like, you're the one maybe putting in the inputs and putting in the work. But if you're focused on just yourself, you're not doing anything. Yeah. Who are you helping? I don't care what your product is. I don't care what it is. If you're not helping someone with it, or it's not a positive for something, what on earth are you doing? And I love that you've found that. And creating this community is a very positive thing. Very, very good. please listen to that. You should be doing that because it just makes you feel better, but also it's the right way to do it.
Thank you.
Without a
yeah,
doubt.
I think that's where I'm at with it, is I will not put anything out there that I haven't needed to hear myself or do myself, or I don't put any products out there that I wouldn't need myself, if that makes sense. Like, it's all coming from a space of things that I needed and I want to give to others. So
I don't even have to expound on that. That's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about we've talked about the story of where Smiley Society came from in your story, which thank you so much for sharing that with us. And you're in social work now. That's what you studied. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
What were you doing before all of that?
Before social work, or
before, like, during school, in school, what were you doing?
Yeah, so while I was studying in school, I was working a lot with kids, actually.
Cool.
I was doing a lot of social work in the special needs area of schools, things like that. That was a big part of what I was playing, and I did my internship at a charter school for kids with special needs.
Nice.
That was a really big role for me to play, and honestly, I loved it, and I don't see myself not going back into school someday. That could definitely be a possibility. But then once I graduated, I was actually a mental health coach for a year. Yeah.
Wow.
And so and I was working from home and doing that up until I had my son.
Cool.
And it was a hard decision to decide to step away from that for now. That's another, reason why I felt like I needed to pour that passion of mental health into something else.
Somewhere.
Because mental health is so crucial. And it's just understanding it is just honestly such a win for anybody to understand their brain and how it works. But I was a mental health coach for a year leading up to that, and that's we'll see where that leads next.
There you go.
At some point. But right now we're momming it. So
I love that you're also looking forward to getting more education. What would that look like?
Yeah. I really thought about getting into my master's degree pretty early postpartum, and then I really felt strongly that I just needed to be with my son and future kids for a little while, and that's where I feel the most pulled at the moment. But in the future, I would love to get my master's degree just so I can ultimately practice therapy, whether that's in schools or when I was a mental health coach, it was mainly with parents, actually. It was like parent coaching type stuff, and that was interesting to do when I wasn't a parent, but actually it was an amazing space, and I really loved working with the women in the space, so I would love to ultimately work with women again, and that have been through betrayal trauma, postpartum, etc. I'm not scared of the scary stuff with that, if that makes sense.
Man, this is why you should be friends with my wife, because she's a nurse. And kind of same thing. Oh my gosh. She's very interested in...
Is she? Bless her.
She's the best. But she's on a floor right now at Utah Valley Hospital that's all post-op people.
Yeah.
And she's okay with it. But what she really wants to do eventually is go back to school, become a PA, and be able to help, especially people with diabetes or, big problems that they can't really face on their own without medicine, help them get treated by exercising and eating well and taking care of their mental health and all these things. You should be friends. Start a practice together. That sounds awesome.
I actually only came so that I could meet your wife and be friends with her.
That's what this whole podcast is about.
This is a good side thing, but that's why I'm actually here.
I love it. We're going to make that happen. So with Smiley Society, obviously because it's very vulnerable, like we've talked about, it's very in people's feeds, you're putting yourself out there. Do you remember a moment where it became real? Where you're like, oh, I could, what I'm posting is working. What I'm doing is working. People are responding. What moment was that for you?
I had a few come to mind. I think anytime I've posted something about postpartum and just been really honest, I've gotten an amazing reaction from women just saying, thank you for putting that into words. Thank you for putting into words the fact that I would actually really appreciate it if people just left food on my doorstep and didn't talk to me for a week, because that's not easy to say. No. And so I think just the validation that I've seen happen with it has been amazing. And also, it's not just reaching people in Utah. It's not just reaching like my high school friends anymore. It's all over.
Very
like
cool.
I have a friend overseas in Europe that like we send each other voice memos because her son's the same age as my son, and we talk, you know, and it's a community, right? And that's the beauty of it. So moments like that, when I see it reaching people outside of my like real life circle, is pretty amazing.
It's pretty epic. That's awesome.
And the point is just to gather us together and validate one another. So that's been beautiful.
It'd be a team. I love that. Very cool. When you first started posting and when you first started this idea, it probably wasn't like that. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. What did those early days of just pretty much throwing stuff at a wall look like for you?
Yeah, and are we talking like COVID times, like when that happened? Or
either way, because I mean, you've done this now 2 times where you're like putting it out there and really focusing on it. Go through both, honestly.
Yeah. So earlier times, what it looked like when I was just posting things, it was honestly just a lot of it was based off of gratitude and what was making my life beautiful despite all the crap I was going through, right? And so it was really, like I mentioned, it was more of like a personal blog, and it was like I just kept feeling called to share the experience I was going through. I mean, it's kind of a unique experience to go through something like that at the age of 21. Yes. And I decided to kind of turn it into a superpower rather than like something absolutely devastating and letting it ruin my personality. I was like, instead, we're gonna let it bring my personality back to life is what this is. And so that's kind of how it started, and it was making people happy, you know, and I was able to heal in the process of helping others heal. And that ultimately, that's why social work is just what I'm supposed to do, you know. And but as I've revamped it postpartum, I think now I feel like it has more of a direction now. And when I decided that I was going to be home with my son and stay home with him, I think a lot of people think of that as a luxury. It's like, oh, you're lucky that you guys are in a great enough position to do that and all that, which, like, yes, I am blessed in a lot of ways, but also, like, it's a big sacrifice, especially in today's world, to be a stay-at-home mom. That is, that was not a comfortable decision in a lot. It's not the way that it, like, used to be. You know what I mean? And so, I really was fighting it, the push to be a stay-at-home mom. But I was really, honestly, I was very prayerful about that experience and talked to God a lot about it. And I felt like, okay, I finally accepted it's not time for me to get my master's degree. It's not time for me to do that. I am going to be home. And I felt my entire body just relax. Whoa. Yeah, I was like, it was like God was like, finally, you got it, okay? So I finally leaned into what was calling me, right? And that night, I was like getting all these ideas for Smiley Society again, like instantly. Weird how that works. Yeah. It was like, okay, now this path is open. Here's all these things here. And so now it has more of a purpose. And I want it to become, you know, it is a business, right? She's a little baby and I love her, but it is a business and something that I'm working to build. I want it to be more than just some silly little vlogs, right? It's deeper than that, and I'm hoping to spread the message with a lot of different products and things like that. So good. So good. You said a couple things there that are like, I hope everyone listening and watching has been paying attention because they are just mind-blowing, like so well phrased. Thank you. You took something that could have just taken you down and defeated you and turned it into a superpower. What? Do that? Are you kidding me? That's fantastic. And then obviously relying on God, being prayerful about it. Yeah. I think that's one of the most, I won't say most, but it's a very commonly overlooked element. Yeah. That a lot of business owners, of course, we're in Utah where it's a hub for that. Yeah. But even outside, a couple people I've talked to across the country, same thing. These guys are like young and very successful and are building something that's going to be great. And every single one of them says, I'm relying on God. I'm thinking about, I'm being prayerful about it. Like,
Yes, that is what you should be doing, and it's so good to hear you say that. Very,
Thank
very
you.
good.
Yeah.
I can't phrase it better than you just did. So, man, very, very cool. In the struggle to build a business, now on the admin side, because like you said, you are running a business. This is something that you're doing for the love of the game. For a lot of entrepreneurs, it starts out as love of the game.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's going to make money. It's going to provide for your family, whatever the purpose might be. Everyone runs into a moment where it nearly snaps in half and breaks and doesn't work.
Yeah.
Now you had a pause. I'm not going to count that as it snaps in half and breaks, but what moments have you gone through where it's almost broken? And how have you gotten past it?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like in a lot of ways, I have to go through that almost every day.
Yeah.
Is that I think when you have a vision and a drive to do something, especially once you're a parent and I'm a stay-at-home mom in this process, it's the battle to be a present mother and wife over everything else. And still be fighting for this vision and this dream that I have and that I feel like God wants me to share. Yeah. Right? And so, honestly, there are days when I feel like it's going to snap in half. I mean, you have a kid.
Yes.
And so I think it's overcoming that and remembering your why every single day almost. I can't really put it on a specific moment because I feel like I have to fight that every day right now.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, this is actually worth pursuing. This isn't just a cute little thing that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
This is something that I'm working to create beauty in the world and for people like me that need it, you know?
I love it. Because some people I've talked to, it's been like maybe getting punched in the gut.
Yeah.
And it's just out of nowhere, and it's just, boom, you get clotheslined, you're punched in the gut. Like, now you got to pivot and figure it out. I feel more similar to you on this, where it's more of a constant tug of like, oh, crap, what on earth am I doing?
Yes.
This other thing is pulling me way harder. Okay, well, I still want to do this. I still feel like I need to do this.
Yeah.
That's very well put again. And I feel like a lot of people are discounting that. Like, they think of these big crash world-shattering moments.
Well, yeah, definitely.
But maybe it's not always that way. And maybe it's more of like a constant pressure, constant tug.
Yeah.
It's continental drift. It's not an asteroid impact, right? It's definitely for a lot of people. So very well put.
Well, thank you. It's just like constant realigning, you know?
And the Tanner who we had on last week put that into words I really liked, where he said, pivot, don't quit. Like, why would you not just turn and move a different direction and keep going forward somehow and not have this obstacle shatter the entire thing?
Definitely.
It's very, very interesting.
Definitely.
So
Good words, Tanner. Shout out to Tanner.
Tanner,
love that
you're
guy.
You're a genius, man. I love it. That does lead up very nicely into another thing I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
Because for nearly everybody that jumps into social media, everybody that jumps into a business, pretty much everyone has misconceptions of what it actually takes. So what do people outside of you think it takes to do what you do, and what do you perceive as what's really going on?
That's a good question. Well, I think especially if, because I'm doing a lot of content creation.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a lot of that now. And honestly, why wouldn't you give it a shot?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, I think it's very common among moms and women, which I love.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people, it makes people really uncomfortable to even talk about it. I mean, if you're doing a podcast,
I do know.
It's so interesting because a lot of people don't know how to talk to you about it, or they're like, oh, because the vulnerability freaks them out, you know?
Yep.
And so I think they view it as, oh, they just don't care what people think about them. They don't care what people think. They don't, they are just so confident that it doesn't, like that's what it takes. And, all they do is just put on their little camera and then they pick random music and then it's good. I think it has the appearance of being very simple.
Yes.
But if you really care about it and if you're trying to do your best and create quality, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. And I also I mean, I don't want it to just be a typical UGC account, which
Exactly.
is great. I love the UGC girlies. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But this one has a greater purpose, and
Yeah.
I think it can get confused with a lot of other ones that are like, I'm just like here, just, you know. But yeah, I'm not trying to discount any other accounts. But I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, it totally
like,
makes sense. Yeah.
People just think it's like, oh, she just turns on her camera and then she makes $1,000 because she like, and that just is
like,
not how it is.
whoa.
Like, it's a big grind.
What $1,000?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Haven't
Maybe
seen it.
some people, but like, yeah.
But yeah, so I think a lot of people find it very simple.
Yep.
They think it just doesn't take a lot. Like, you can have a tripod and then live your dreams. And it's a really big grind. And I think it also, you have to, another thing I think it takes is really constantly checking in with yourself and doing your best to take care of yourself in the process, because it can really like it is vulnerable, and being on display is so uncomfortable, especially when people don't like what you're doing. You know, and everyone's going to find something wrong with you all the time. So I think like the mental effort that it takes to stay secure in it, or try to, is big. And I'm sure you know that. But
for a lot of the entrepreneurs and people starting businesses, that kind of loud minority, I'm going to say it's a minority because it really is, of the negative people, they're really loud. And they drown
Very
out
loud.
the people that are just like liking silently, or like, oh, this is really cool, I really like that.
Like,
They'll say
this
it
is
to
really
themselves, they're not
nice.
going to say it publicly. A good friend of mine, he always says, he posts a lot on social media, he always says, comments are always hate and DMs are always love. It's so weird. That's
interesting.
True.
That is true.
I've experienced that. I'm sure you have too. That's very, very interesting. So the Smiley Society journey has changed. It's grown. It's getting better all the time, it seems like. And you've got books out.
Yes.
And I had you bring them today. They've been sitting in Mia's lap this whole time, out of camera view. But tell me about that, because it seems like that's one of these products that you're building to expand Smiley Society. Tell me about the books and what the whole purpose of these is.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so cool to have these here still. I'm really proud of them. So this is the Hot Moms Gratitude Journal. Okay. And then this is the Hot Girls Gratitude. Just released this one recently because there were too many girls out there that aren't moms and they wanted it too. So love you guys. Glad you're here. But yes, I created this prompted gratitude journal really out of love for the practice of gratitude and what it can do for your mental health. When I was early postpartum, I started asking myself, what would I tell my clients? Like, the clients that I just had, what would I tell them in a session? Like, what's something that they could practice? And I was like, okay, gratitude is a great practice. It always, like, gratitude is a beautiful concept, but it was always kind of snooze fest for me.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's
I mean,
like,
have you seen the gratitude journals on Amazon or on Etsy?
oh, yeah.
Some of them are tragic. They're really not cool.
Well, and to be quite honest with you, Ethan, that's where this was born, because I was like, okay, I feel overwhelmed at the idea of just having a blank journal and just writing down all my gratitudes. That just felt too
Daunting.
overwhelming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got a prompted one online, and it was like a 5-minute one, which I love the concept. The concept was wonderful.
Yep.
But it was sad and beige, which is not my vibe, okay?
Smiley Society, bright yellow. Not exactly a beige girl.
Not a sad beige mom. So it was sad and beige. It had just a bunch of random AI quotes in it, right? Like that they just pulled from the ether. You know, literally one, because I had a quote at the top of each one, whatever. One of them was literally O.J. Simpson. And I was like, why are we quoting O.J. Simpson in my
Are we sure about that?
Why are we quoting O.J. in my
positive
journal?
that's a good person to quote. Yikes.
So I found myself starting to really love and appreciate the practice, but be really bored with it, if that makes sense. And so I love the concept of all moms are hot moms, right? All girls are hot girls. And I think being grateful and practicing gratitude, that's what makes you sexy, okay? So
It's very good.
And a lot of other stuff, whatever. But we can edit that out. I'm so sorry.
That's so good.
But But yes, I think that that's really what makes you beautiful and what makes life worth living. And there's just constant studies on gratitude and how it changes your brain.
Yeah.
And so, like I mentioned that night when I finally was like, okay, I am going to be home. I'm going to be home with my son. This is what I'm going to do. I started I was up late and just writing out different ways of how this would look.
Yeah.
And this idea for the gratitude journal came to me.
So cool.
And it's fun, you guys.
Yes.
In my creator's note in the front, I talk about it and I say, like, gratitude is kind of the celery of self-care. Like, nobody wants it, but it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's really good for you, but it's not fun.
Yeah.
And so, like...
Make it fun.
Yes,
dude.
make it fun.
Yeah.
Dress it up. Get some ranch dressing. Get some hummus. That's what this is for, is to make gratitude more fun.
I love it.
So... I really want it to feel like you're talking to a friend in the morning, but it's very doable. That's the purpose. It's doable for anybody. Anyone can sit down for 3 minutes and write down a few things that you're grateful for, write down an affirmation, and how to make your day meaningful. So
that's phenomenal. And I'm imagining that this is going to, just because I've seen this pattern before, this is going to spawn new ideas based off of what you've done here. And I think that's really, really cool. I'm glad you mentioned why you had the name, though. Like that, the fact that I've seen gratitude journals, I've been in sales and marketing for a very long time. And a lot of it is the toughest thing you've ever done, right? And it's
for sure.
You constantly are getting beat up. It's that constant tug, but it's like you're dodging Conor McGregor's punches constantly. And having something that's good for you, but dressing it up, making it fun, and being like, hey, it doesn't have to be boring as can possibly be.
Yeah.
I've looked into gratitude journals everywhere. If I could find a gratitude journal that had like Hot Wheels cars in it that I could color in, there we go. Thank you. I'm kidding. But really,
I'll take note of that.
You do need fun, boring things. Like,
absolutely.
There's so much joy in that. Like I saw something today that was a study done by it was supported by the church, but it was a study on couples and happy marriages. And it was like one of the number one indicators or one of the number one tasks that you can do with a spouse to increase happiness in marriage is doing walks.
Absolutely.
Just walking.
I love walking. Yeah.
That is the most simple, most basic, boring activity, and yet is one of the strongest things you can do. It's just like gratitude. It's like, dress it up, make it fun. We do walks. We have a dog. That helps make the walks more fun and necessary. Also having the baby and doing the stroller and like, hey, let's go visit these cool places. Like, you got to make it fun.
Absolutely.
Because boring things are better fun. Very, very cool.
Finding beauty in the simplicity.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
So talk to me about, because putting a book out there is not an easy task. Talk to me about kind of the behind the scenes admin work, the art, everything that went into putting those somewhere where people can buy them.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not easy.
No, it was quite a journey, especially, with a new baby at home and figuring that out.
Yep.
And I have to give a shout out to my husband here, speaking of happy marriages, right? But he heard my idea, and one really pivotal question that he asked me that helped me get to the conclusion of all of this. He said, what do you want for your life?
Nice.
And I think when you become a mom, you stop thinking about your life.
Yep.
You just I was like, whoa. What do I want for my life? I was only thinking about your life and my son's life.
Good husband question for all the boys out there.
Yeah, good husband
great
question.
Great one to toss out occasionally.
Take notes. And then the next morning I came to him with this idea, right? And I was like, I really want to revamp Smiley Society. And I think it would be really cool.
Nice.
To do this. And I was like, I'm kind of scared because I feel like a lot of the time people get at least like 10,000 followers before they launch a product. And I'm not there, right? Yeah. But I was like, I really want to just grow the brand as I'm going. Yeah. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And so I did a bunch of the research and we went through Kindle Direct Publishing just to get it on Amazon.
Oh, cool. Nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't know if we'll do that forever because I have other products and things in mind that we might not be able to do through that. But this was the best process for us. So I figured out the Kindle Direct Publishing process.
Nice.
And he was just my ride or die along with it.
Nice.
And we spent a lot of late nights, like we put the baby to bed, a lot of late nights on Canva, right? A lot of late nights. I mean, I did write every single prompt in here is from my brain, okay?
Nice.
And so, and they're sassy, they're fun, and
they're not
thinking
AI,
about,
which is huge.
Yes. I want you to talk to me like a friend while you're doing it. But lots of late nights just really diving into the creativity of this. And a lot of it was switching. Oh, baby's awake. You go. I'll play around on Canva for a minute.
Yep.
Okay, now you go. I'll write down some ideas for prompts. And then we'll submit this to Amazon. But that's ultimately where we went through was Kindle Direct Publishing. And we just figured that out to make it available sooner.
Very cool. So, I mean, teamwork. So good.
Huge.
You can't do it without the team. And
No.
I mean, every piece of art that I've put together for this, because I'm doing thumbnails and all that good stuff, I'm like showing to Kylie, like, how does this look? Does
do
it
you feel
look
about this?
stupid? I think it looks stupid. She's like, no, it looks really good. I'm like, cool. I also think it looks really good.
You're like, I was testing the waters there.
I just wanted to be the devil's advocate to myself.
Oh, absolutely.
No, 100%.
You need someone who believes in you, honestly. That's huge.
Yeah, you got to have a coach in your corner. You got to
Yeah.
have someone who's like, hey, you got this. And I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
And it's cool, too, that your brand and everything you talk about is also being that for other people. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. Very, very awesome. So, in the same realm that we're thinking about admin, you know, establishing a business, less on the what it actually is and more on the how the heck do you even do this, there's a lot of people that are at day one.
Yeah.
If someone comes up to you and is like, hey, I don't know how to do this, what's your immediate number one snap of the fingers tip you're giving that person?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think, first of all, tell somebody about your idea. Tell someone that you feel safe with about your idea. And I know that that's like not the biggest business move, but it's what keeps you going is when you have someone that believes in you and is in your corner, like we were saying. So tell somebody about it and say, this is what I have. Do your own research.
Yeah.
Figure out how it works. And I ultimately was like, okay, I bought this dinky journal off of Amazon. How hard can it be? And I dove in and I just started doing research. I started figuring out how do we make this happen.
Nice.
And then you present that to other people to help you get there, if that
Very
makes
cool.
sense. And yeah, I would.
It's a dang good number one tip. Yeah. Is have a support.
Yeah, have a
very
support
cool.
and do your research, you
Yeah.
know? I think that's huge.
Yeah.
But if somebody else can do it, you can do it. And I think that's what people forget, is it's like,
Yeah.
if somebody published this on Amazon, maybe I can too. And it's, nothing is as scary as it sounds once you start to do it.
Dude, that was what my feed said. I you know, everything I scroll is like business and motivation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I saw today was if you see something that someone else has done, they've done it, then what the heck means you can't?
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing ever. It's real.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, you've got a boy, so you're going to be watching Cars. There's a quote from Cars 3 where
We've already
Lightning
watched
McQueen,
it, yeah.
I'm sure you have. And we went the other day to Lavelle Edwards
Oh,
with
I love that.
Spencer Koalas and his wife to
Aw.
watch the first Cars movie on the big screen on the field. Coolest thing ever.
Love
Little
that.
baby she had the best time. She loved
Oh,
it. Anyway,
okay.
there's a quote from Cars 3 where the girl car asks Lightning, why were you so successful? And he said, like, what made you think that you could do all these things? He's like, I just never thought that I couldn't do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Lightning McQueen, dude. Like,
Honestly,
it's real.
I love that you gave Lightning McQueen a shout out. That's because
Tag Lightning down below.
honestly,
No,
Lightning, are you listening? Really though, and
Yeah.
because that's almost, to me, that's the belief of a child.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
I think a lot of what I do, I think about my younger self a
Yeah.
lot, because she was not afraid.
Yeah.
She was not scared of stuff, you
Yeah.
know? And at some point we start to get older and we're more fearful. So
Yeah.
as long as I tap into little Mia, it's, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do this. I
Yeah.
just saw it and I wanted to, so I
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
You know?
Very cool. And it's very real. Man, just so good. So many little gold nuggets today, and I'm so glad that you were able to come on.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Being a stay-at-home mom too, I know it's not easy, so we super appreciate it.
Got some
I've
coordinating.
been playing
We're
a
good.
little bit of stay-at-home dad this week, just with
Are you
all
okay?
the things. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
That little girl and I are just the best friends. And I love
That's
it.
so fun.
It's fun being a girl dad, dude. I love it.
I love that for you.
It's
I bet
so
you're the
fun.
best girl dad ever.
I hope so. I try. All
You're
right.
doing great.
We're going to round a home base here. This is called garage build.
Yeah.
And the reason why is so many people have started empires out of their garage.
Mm-hmm.
They've obviously gotten bigger than that. And everybody has a little bit of a garage.
Mm-hmm.
What does your garage look like right now?
Yeah. That's a great question. My garage is messy right now. You know, a lot of garages are messy. One day I hope I have the shelves where I can, you know, and
store the totes
and
all
I'll
that
have my
good
label
stuff.
maker. You know, right now it's messy, and that's
Yep.
okay. A lot of what my garage looks like is late nights on
Yep.
my living room couch,
Yep.
and a notebook just full of things,
Yeah.
right? And it also looks like me practicing everything I put out there before I release it to
Yeah.
the world. So a lot of trial and error with me. How does Mia feel about it?
Yeah.
And I kind of test things out with myself,
Yeah.
right? But that's a lot of what my garage looks like right now.
Yeah.
It's a simple space at the moment, but it's a fun one.
Very
So-
good, very good. And in that same realm, you guys don't know how many takes sometimes it takes. I'm using takes too many times, but when you're filming something, like talking head videos is pretty much all I do when I'm
Yeah.
doing my dailies. How many takes it takes for me to feel like, oh, okay, I crushed that. And most of the time, I don't still feel like I crushed it, and I'm like, all right, we're posting it anyway.
Right. At what point do you just say, okay, something is better than nothing?
Yeah,
You know, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I felt so bad. I was out in front of my garage down here, and our neighbor was cleaning her car. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, whatever. She's going to see me film this vlog post for today.
There's something about people watching.
I know, it makes...
Like in person, and you're like, I'll let 1,000 people watch it online, but I don't want anyone
Exactly.
to watch. Yeah,
It's
sorry, go ahead.
nerve-wracking.
Go ahead.
And so she's washing her car, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, 20 takes in, and I'm like, I still feel like this is garbage. Like,
Yeah.
this, what am I freaking saying? And she looks over and she's like, how's it coming? And I'm like, not freaking good, dude. And she's like, it's okay, you got this. And I was like, hey, I appreciate that. But it does take a lot of effort and a lot of
Yeah.
you know what? It's good enough. We're going to throw it out there, see what happens. And sometimes those do really well.
Yeah.
It's very funny. So
It's a lot of laughing at yourself, too.
Oh my
because- Yeah.
And a little tiny little bit of Kylie saying I talk too much, and I agree with her on that. So the videos have shortened themselves from like 3 minutes down to 90 seconds. So hopefully we're doing good on that. But it's
I
kind
have
of funny.
that problem, too. I think that's why we're doing what we're
That's
doing.
why we're doing a
So,
podcast.
yeah.
Talk too much. My mom said the other day, we were talking about the podcast and, doing the job hunt and all these different things. And my mom was like, well, to someone else, she's like, well, Ethan has always liked to hear himself talk. And I'm just sitting there like literally scripting out my daily vlog. I'm like, oh, yeah, I do.
It's a gift,
fine.
though. It's such
Yeah.
a gift to be able to talk,
Yeah.
And it's nice to have a place to put it
Yeah.
other than somebody's ear,
Sometimes I just got to like put it out there. And I know
Yeah.
that's the same for you too. And I love that the garage is simple, but it's also, you have a plan for where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And I love that. So massive shout out to you for coming on. I have loved this. There's so many gold nuggets, like I said, but now I'm going to hit you with the surprises. Okay.
Okay.
A couple things that we do on
Here we
Garage
go.
Built Podcast. The first one, and then we'll go into the second, is I want you to look dead into your camera, and I want you to do like a 30-second to 1 minute commercial, Smiley Society. Just pitch it.
Oh
like
my
you would to someone who
gosh.
asks you about, what are you doing right now? Answer that question. Go for it.
Oh, my goodness.
Put me on the spot.
Wow. I talked about vulnerability, and now you're really going to put that to the test.
That's
Okay.
what we do. I
Let
love
me fix the hair. All right. How long? A minute?
Like 30 seconds.
Okay,
to a
30
minute,
seconds.
Whatever.
Okay.
10 minutes. Go. No, I'm just kidding.
Right now I'm doing content creation to create a community for women and girls to connect with each other in the difficult parts of life and find authenticity and validation in what they're doing. And I'm releasing products to go along with that. So products like the Hot Mom's Gratitude Journal, the Hot Girls Gratitude Journal, to remember to take care of yourself but have fun while you're doing it. And that's really the purpose behind it all.
Very good. Could not be better. And I think we were right at 30 seconds right there. So
Oh my gosh, really?
it's like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now the
totally.
last one. Okay.
Okay.
I've been a car guy since I was a wee lad. And if you saw my office, it's very messy and my dog peed on the floor. So we're not going to go in there. But there's a lot of cars in there.
Classic.
Now,
Okay.
I've told Kylie that I have a theory about a hot mom car. That those exist. And
Okay.
that you can tell what kind of mom someone is partially by the car they drive.
Okay. That's a good
It's very
theory.
interesting.
That's an interesting theory.
And the theory is not necessarily what the car is, but it's how the car is. Anyway,
Okay.
we can get into that. But I have my dream
believe
cars.
you.
They switch like
Yeah.
every week.
Okay.
Money's not an object. Smiley Society or anything else goes massive, and you get to choose whatever car you want. Dream car.
Whatever car I want.
Whatever
and it
you
doesn't
want.
have to be practical.
No, not at all.
Okay. I've always wanted a yellow bug.
Sick.
Yep. Always wanted just a yellow bug.
Mia, that is
I-
the most Mia car I could possibly think of.
Well, it's what my Barbies had, and it's still what I want.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've always wanted a yellow car in general, but the yellow bug, it speaks to me,
Very good. So I've had, obviously everybody gives different answers to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can almost like guess at this point what the person's going to say
Yeah.
just by who they are and how they look. It's just, what car are they going to say?
It's a weird telepathy thing that
It's
you
a
have.
telepathy
yeah.
thing that I have, but I'm pretty sure I could guess these at this point. So maybe in the future on ongoing episodes, I'm going to guess and then they're going to say it. But
That'd
that
be
is
fun.
a phenomenal choice.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
It's not practical at all, but,
Still counts.
Yeah.
It's not practical.
Thank you.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be practical. But thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Yeah. Right now on Instagram, smiley.society. Smiley.society on Instagram. That's where we're at. Hoping to be brave enough to expand on other platforms soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But that's the main place that you can find me right now. And also, if you're local to Utah, I'm starting to do some events and I will always have my products at the events if you're wanting to purchase those. But for example, on the 27th of this month, we're going to be doing a clothing swap, and your entry fee is just 3
Bring
pieces
the
of
clothing.
clothes. 3 pieces of clothes, and come have a good time, come connect with people, and go from there. So you can find me local in Utah, but also smiley.society.
And then where can people buy the books?
Yes. So again, if you go to my Instagram, these are linked everywhere, and keep your eyes peeled for more products in the future. But right now on Amazon, if you look up the Hot Girls Gratitude Journal or the Hot Moms Gratitude Journal, you will find those on Amazon. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
And those, I'm going to tag all the links below too.
Amazing.
So if you're curious from this video or wherever you're listening, it'll be linked below and you can find all that. So
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. Now, for those of you that are familiar with how the podcast works, there's a lot to break down from our conversation. I'm very grateful for that. And we're going to go into the analytical portion where essentially I'm just going to sit down for a couple minutes, talk about the 3 main points that I think are the best takeaways from mine and Mia's conversation.
Love
Thank
that.
you so much. And we'll move on now. Welcome to the analysis. Today, I'm just so stoked that you guys got to hear about Mia's whole story and the story of Smiley Society. I thought it was so good. She mentioned so many things that I was hoping she would, and then expounded on those, and then even blew my mind with some other great little key points and tidbits that I want to talk about a little bit further, because Mia, like I said in the podcast, said them a lot better than I can. But I want to take what she said, kind of bundle it up and make it applicable even more for all of us that are maybe not creating a women's, support page like Smiley Society. And of course, it's going to get bigger than that. I don't doubt that Mia's going to take this thing very, very far, and it's going to be awesome. It already is. And I'm just so excited she's doing it. But I want to take it and kind of take what she says and apply it to both what I'm building and hopefully what you're building, make it something that we can all just put our foot on the gas this week and go do it. So let's get right into it. One of the things that I loved that Mia said, sorry, I'm looking at my notes down here, is vulnerability breeds connection. And that's a quote from someone she admires and someone that's really big in the mental health and kind of social work world. And I think that's so good. So vulnerability breeds connection. What on earth does that mean? Well, Mia explained it very, very well. It just means that when you get vulnerable, people have an easier time connecting with you. People understand that there's a story to it. There's something that they can relate to. They can identify with whatever you're talking about. The cool thing is, this is a repeating pattern. We've heard this before. Tanner, last week, brought up that him telling his story about, brothers and family and friends getting lost in the woods while they were out doing outdoor stuff bred the idea of Kiba, right? We've talked about Samuel Clare with Surf Boy and how his story of almost dying surfing helped him create the logo and the brand identity that he wants it to have. It's very common. But telling that story and being vulnerable about what happened and how that goes about happening and every little piece that it takes for you to get the idea and build it and all this stuff, your customers want to hear that. The people you're working with or for want to hear that. They will identify with that. And it's just way better to make it simple. The more vulnerable you are, and that doesn't mean telling them every deepest, darkest secret, right? There's no need for that. But being open and honest with people just generally helps them trust you more and helps yourself be credible and helps yourself trust yourself. So it's very good. I wrote down here that it's not all about you. It's a lot more about impact. And then I kind of thought of something based on that. With the vulnerability breeding connection, we know that now. And we know how to do that now. Tell the story. Be, public about it. And, if it's kosher, of course. But it kind of brings up the purpose of why any of us start a business. And obviously money's a factor, right? But how many entrepreneurs do we know that started out because of something that was bugging them or a problem that they were facing? Literally every single person we've talked to thus far has done it because of this. Now, this comes into the second point that I want to talk about today that Mia also mentioned. She said in her own words that the thing that she's found that Smiley Society has done is it's taken something that she struggled with and she was weak with and has made it a superpower. Like that, holy cow, first of all. So well said. But think about some of the entrepreneurs you know. Let's talk Phil Knight from Nike. A runner. He was in track and he wanted a better shoe. There you go. Boom. He figured out a way. Of course, it started with a waffle iron and rubber. But he figured out how to make a better shoe. Let's talk about, Tanner Davis. Tanner Davis kept having people get lost. He kept having to waste so much time and effort looking for people that had gotten separated when he was doing outdoor stuff. And so he started Kiba. Daniel Deal hated going to get his emissions tested. He felt like there was a better way. So he took that pain that he was experiencing and he created mobile emissions. It's kind of cool. Like, if you're in the brainstorming part of your journey, right? Find what bugs you. Find things that you think could be better, right? On my After Hours podcast, which is a mini series that I'm doing now, I'm talking about how every week or every other week, or whatever, whenever I do it, we'll see what that ends up being. But I'm going to talk about an idea I have. Like these ideas should be plentiful. There should be plenty of pain points that you feel like you can solve. And some of the best businesses in the entire world are started simply because of that. So I think Mia, having gone through what she went through and kind of felt a lack of community within that and felt like what was needed to be said was not being said. So she's going to say it and she's going to create a community around saying it and being open about it. Phenomenal. Right? Like how many of these women that she's connecting with, like the one that she talked about that's in Europe, that they're messaging back and forth, they're doing voice messages. Like, yes. So in essence, second point is take a weak point, a pain point, or a problem that you have and find the solution. Make that a superpower. And a lot of times people will make that into a business and solve the problem for other people too. If you're having that problem, you're definitely not the only one, right? Very, very cool and very, very humbling, I'm sure, to kind of see that. And I for me, it 100% is. And it kind of brings up the podcast too. Like, why am I doing this? Well, I love listening to podcasts. It's one of my favorite forms of media. I love long form content, but I want to hear people's cool stories. And so selfishly, I've talked about this so many times. I'm sorry if you guys are getting tired of it. I love talking to cool people building cool things. I think it's fascinating. I've done that since I was little. And now I have pretty much established a platform for myself to be able to do that. But at the same time, I know that there's other people that want to hear those stories. And hopefully that's you. If you're listening, thank you. Like, this is why I'm doing it, because I'm you, right? But making that a superpower, making that something that other people can relate to is extremely important and extremely valuable. So huge shout out for Mia to Mia for pointing that out. I think that's so crucial and so important for all of us to remember. The last thing I want to talk about with what Mia said was creating a community and then bringing things to that community that they would want. And this bleeds into the second point here, that a lot of times, you create a product that solves a problem, you create a platform that solves a problem, whatever it might be, right? We've talked about many already, and so we're not going to mention them again. But for Mia specifically, she created a community, and then the products that now she's releasing are things that, according to her, she would want. And she saw a gap in, and she's like, well, I have a platform. I can provide what I want to other people that want what I want. I think that's fantastic. Think of so many other businesses that want that, right? And hopefully, right, the whole point of capitalism, the whole point of being able to have as free of a market as we can have is that happens often and frequently. That, hey, I would like apples, right? Little Ron Swanson here. I would like apples. Therefore, I'm going to buy apples for myself. Hey, turns out other people want apples. I'm going to buy apples from someone that has them and provide them to the people that I know. Crazy. That's a business right there. To me, that's all it should take also to start a business. I won't get into that, but that's it. Like, you can create a community around whatever it is, right? For, let's say you're an outdoors brand. You create an outdoors community and you sell your product to that community, right? You're a car brand. You know cars. You love cars. You create a community around cars and then you sell them a supplemental product, right? There's so many of them that have done that. Food, services, football, sports, everything. There's so many different things that you can do this within, and I encourage you all to find that out and to build that community because it's powerful, right? Very, very cool. I think Mia's gratitude journals are a fantastic version of this, right? Where she saw so many bland ones. I have too. They're horrible. And then Mia comes out with this bright, hot pink, bright yellow, bright blue, in your face, boom, fun title, targeted clearly towards a specific group of people, women, right? That want that and have not seen that. And now she's like, hey, there's an opportunity here. There it is. I'm going to create that because this is what I would want. That's very cool. And, some people have different opinions on this. Some people are purely for the utility, that they're like, hey, whatever I create needs to be useful for the most amount of people. That's cool. I'm glad. I hope they keep doing that. That's great. But I think for those of us that are building small, the most important thing we can do to start out is to build that community and then help that community, right? So anyway, with Garage Built, hopefully, once again, if you're listening this far, I'm sure this is you, but you want that community feeling about entrepreneurship and about small business, and you want to know cool people. You want to meet cool people. That's me, right? That's why I do this. And if that's you, let me know. I would love to get your thoughts on it. Maybe I'll have you come on and we'll do a whole different type of episode where we're just talking about our love for entrepreneurship and small business. I think it's fun. to end here, though, man, Mia is just awesome. I think her vision of what Smiley Society is and what it can become and where it's going is impressive. I think it's going to go places. If you're a lady listening to this and you want a community where you can feel like you belong, Mia's got that, and you should for sure join up. She's doing local events now. I am so pumped for her to start doing that. I've thought about doing some of those too. Obviously, mine's not going to be clothing swap meets, but if that's your thing, Mia is doing that, and I can't wait for you guys to go check that out, and for sure go check out Smiley Society's page. Go check out the books if that's something you want. They are all linked below this episode, like I said, and yeah, I appreciate you guys for listening. I'm kind of in a weird spot right now because I have an offer letter coming my way today for a new job, so I'm not sure what next week's episode scheduling is going to look like, but if you have any recommendations of people you would like to see on the podcast, tag them or send them this part of the video and let them know that we want to talk to them. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Once again, if you liked this content, subscribe on YouTube, like this video on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, and give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out a ton. This type of content is for sure for a certain group of people, and the only way that this gets in front of those types of people without me, paying for it, essentially, and I don't want to necessarily do that because it kind of feels like cheating. I can't do that. It's fine. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll cut this part out. It doesn't matter. But it helps us out a ton for you to give us a good rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and like and subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. But I thank you guys. Without you, I can't do this, and I appreciate you. So, we'll see you next time.